The news that the controversial website Ashley Madison was hacked may have a lot of people worried that their private lives will be exposed online. The group behind the website is threatening to expose the personal information of more than 37 million people who belong to the site, which claims to help adults have extramarital affairs.
And in an article in New York Magazine, columnist Heather Havrilesky looks at the recent hack and questions, do these cheaters deserve to have their public lives ruined by public shaming online? And she joins us now from Los Angeles to talk a little bit more about this article. Heather, thanks for joining us. It's an interesting take that you take here because basically you say, hey, you know what? Before you judge, you might want to look in the mirror.
Yeah, I think we have to take a step back and look at how connected we all are and how much information we all have online at this point. I think we're all more vulnerable than ever. And we also have to ask ourselves how much security and how much privacy do we need at this time?
Heather, would it be fair to say then the purpose of your article is just basically for the press in general, you know, whether if you're blogging or reporting for a certain blog or even network, is just to sort of sit back and ask yourself, is this really necessary for me to publish this?
It's true for people who use social media, people who use Twitter, people who use Facebook. We all have to think about the information that we put out there. We all have to think about the opinions that we put out there. I myself am very messy in sharing my opinions with the world, so I understand how people land in this situation. But the thing is, we need to remember that public shaming is not a small thing. The consequences of public shaming we've seen over and over again. People commit suicide over this kind of thing. Men who cheated on their wives, who are exposed by this Ashley Madison hacker situation, are very much at risk of committing suicide, doing harm to other people. So, you know, the thing is, all kinds of crazy things happen when people think they're going to protect themselves or the world or their families from this angry mob that they perceive. Public shaming is a very dangerous and scary thing. So, do we need to think about the catastrophic potential that these kinds of words have when they're published online? Absolutely, we need to think about that. And the thing is that we're not just talking about celebrities and public figures anymore who ostensibly would have the resources to defend against this or be prepared at least to deal with it. We're talking about regular private individuals whose lives could suddenly be set on fire and they're not going to understand or know how to cope with it. Teenagers, young people, all of these people need to be protected, and we need to have some kind of agreement or at least discussion or conversation about what we will and won't publish and what we will and won't stand for in terms of the mob going after random people in this kind of self-righteous way.
Social media responsibility. Great discussion, Heather. Thank you so much for joining us today. Heather Havrilesky, columnist at New York Magazine.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.